Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, we're taking a good look at a couple of very important crypto news events while also taking a little bit of a look at the price, what we're doing in terms of trading and all the stuff of the sort. So guys, if you enjoyed these videos, make sure you press that like button. And fun fact, I waited about 40 minutes to make this video because the light was shining in my eyes for the whole time. Alright, so to not waste too much of y'all's time, let's quickly get into it. First of all, S&P, Nasdaq, everything of the sorts is looking pretty negative. Doesn't actually mean too much though, because again, the stock market is not open just quite yet. I think we have a couple more hours until it opens, and honestly, we have absolutely no idea how it's going to turn out right now, mostly because it's been a really confusing month. You can definitely see from the chart right here, just from the S&P alone. It's been a bumpy ride, and so to predict what tomorrow is going to do, I think is almost an impossible task. We're not stock traders here, guys. We're trying to predict crypto as accurately as possible, which is difficult enough. And to get into the crypto markets, I think some very interesting things are happening right here, guys. If you're wondering where I'm trading all this stuff on, by the way, you can check the description down below. It'll always be there. There's always going to be a link to Bybit, which is the exchange that I personally use. And you can right now get up to $4,100 worth of bonuses. And I actually have a couple of fun news pieces about Bybit because they just signed a huge deal, which you'll see a little bit further in this episode. But to again come back on the prices and exactly what is going on, we can actually see that our predictions from yesterday are spot on yet again. I sometimes worry that we are getting to a level where it's just godlike a little bit. The last couple of weeks have just been amazing, and I hope you guys are following along with me. Having said that, these videos are not financial advice. All I'm doing is portraying my opinion over on the internet. You do with it as you please, but just understand I'm just a person on the internet. I'm not trying to give you financial advice. I'm just trying to say whatever's on my mind and say what I think is going to happen, but it does not have to be correct. Having said that, what we are seeing right here I think is very interesting. Let's first actually dive into XRP because that was one of the most exciting assets for this week for sure. XRP right now is actually in a really good position, mostly because it had a bullish breakout, no confirmation just quite yet, but this is a daily candle and it can actually still turn over. We did call out before that there's a little of a resistance line here that's kind of popping through. You can see here our support trend line, which actually is kind of a new bullish pennant creating itself. We had our first bullish pennant, which basically broke out towards the upside. Right now, it's kind of looking as if we're transitioning over into another little triangle that's forming for itself. Let's actually kind of pull it in right here. Kind of looks as if this is what we're forming yet again, where another breakout may form after we potentially hit the bottom here of about 82 cents or so. That's again something I'm looking for and looking into. Yet again, we can clearly see, I think you guys can all agree with me on this one, that we do right now have another, I guess, potential here to just break out of this triangle here as well within the blue line and the purple line, just because we're kind of itching closer and closer towards a breakout sort of level. Right now we're bouncing between this 50 EMA and potentially the 200 EMA, or again the trend line that actually lasts a little bit longer with one false breakout. And again, the most important part out of everything, guys, is to trade with confirmations. This breakout I told you guys yesterday, if today turns out to be a green day, meaning we actually close anywhere above 85 cents or so, I'm opening crazy long positions on XRP. As long as we don't, right now we're not certain where it's going to go, so we should also act accordingly. And then to move over into Bitcoin, I think it's actually quite similar. There's not that many smaller antics that we have to pull here to get a good conclusion or a grasp of the price. We actually had a really bullish close yesterday. I told you all I'm going to look for a close above 44.4 thousand. That would actually be a really beautiful entry if we can actually get that confirmed, which we did. So from a basis perspective, we had basically a reversal right here with a confirmation of the reversal, but we actually stated we would like to close above this level right here, which we've done, and then basically get a confirmation after that because there's a very big resistance at this mark right here. This is a Fibonacci level, which basically is what a lot of people use to trade. And so as it currently stands, we already expected that it was going to be a little bit of a balance between either 41,000 or, again, the level right here, which is about 42.1 thousand, and to come right back up to this level right here, which is 44.8. However, it was a little bit of a sticky situation because we did not fully know whether or not it could hit it or if it was going to basically close below and fall back down further. Right now, our bias is actually bullish, mostly because we did have a nice reversal, a confirmed reversal with a bullish engulfing candle right here. This is looking very promising. If we had to make a choice right now, it would be more logical to have a long position on Bitcoin open, for example, on a platform like Bybit, rather than a short, mostly because it closed above where we wanted it to be. In terms of retesting, perfect retest, not as juicy as we've seen before, because again, did not actually even cross the levels, but it's a beautiful retest. It's not really crazy to see a retest, a rebound before another retest to potentially break through. And again, if we do not have a long position open right now, or we want even more certainty, what we could do, again, right now, we can definitely have a long position open on Bitcoin. It's not crazy. It's not stupid. It follows the fundamentals. But we could actually wait for a confirmation after a breakout of the most important Fibonacci level, because again, it's our second time or potentially our fourth time retesting this level in the short term. We can't actually wait to see whether or not the bullish will continue, because it would also not be too crazy to fall back down from here. But if we did fall back down, it would be most logical if we actually fall back towards this level or something of the sorts that's actually above the previous base that we have created, mostly because we are right now creating a higher high, higher low, another higher high, and then most likely another higher low here. That would not be too crazy, and then it's basically going to be looking like this most likely if we're going to be trending upwards from here. A couple of people pointed out the head and shoulders pattern on this. I'm just looking at the real short term of things on the daily perspective here. This is most likely, in my own opinion. So again, upside is most likely. But yeah, I want to get into a little bit of news right now. First of all, Binance US and 2 of its affiliates under SEC surveillance. Just want to tell you guys, more and more crypto companies are going to fall under the surveillance of the SEC, something we should just embrace, accept, and also understand that some companies are going to get sued. Like, for example, BlockFi had an issue right now. More and more companies will have these issues. It will continue to grow. It will continue to keep itself up. So understand that, embrace it, and then just understand that regardless of what company gets sued or in trouble, it doesn't actually matter too much unless they're found completely guilty and cease and desist has to be pulled through. Almost all the time, though, they can actually go for a fine or some sort of settlement, unless there's a coin attached, when things get a little bit scarier. Because, for example, if a platform like Crypto.com or Swissborg actually gets sued, the token value might drop so significantly that things become more difficult, even if they do go for a settlement. Which, again, brings me to a fun point that XRP actually handled itself really well if you start thinking about it again. I've thought about it a couple of different occasions, I guess maybe 100 already, that the fact that XRP is doing so increasingly well, while they're being sued by the SEC and under a constant threat of just completely, quote-unquote, dying out or being banned altogether, is actually pretty severe. And that does, again, show the little authority the SEC has in the space. For the fact that if a real serious regulator, and we all took him seriously for a serious threat, would have sued a crypto company for this, it would have most likely just dropped all the way to nearly zero, because everybody would believe the authority. The fact that the SEC has had it wrong a couple of times, we think, or specifically now, it's such an interesting allegation against XRP. It does say something, in my opinion, about the amount of trust people have in the authorities going over that, and that's again a problem. But that coincides with what we just read here, where I honestly don't think we should take this too seriously, purely because the SEC is just going on a massive spree of suing and trying to get litigation going, partially because they want to set fundamental rules. But let's quickly read. SEC probes Binance US for its alleged link to market makers. Sigma Chain AG and Merit Peak Ltd are 2 affiliated companies under surveillance with the Binance US. The SEC is also investigating many other crypto firms for illegal proceedings, which again, we'll see how it goes. Just understand there might be a spree of suings going on. Some people were worried about this. XRP thrives even as pending White House report on crypto could prove fatal for Ripple in the SEC case. I honestly don't think so. I honestly think whatever the White House is going to report on will be better than what the SEC is trying to do. Unless they're going to completely kill crypto altogether, which is possible, but very improbable. Unless it's, again, a very bottom line-y type of thing, where they, at the end of everything, they wrote down in small letters like, yeah, and actually, we had a full report here on stablecoins and CBDC, and we're also banning crypto buy. But that doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think it's going to go by that. I think it's most going to be about stablecoins and CBDC, whatever report they make. However, this brings up another question about which entity should rule over the cryptocurrencies and which should be able to make the rules. Right now, it's like a little bit of a fun battle between, okay, so we should look out for the House report because they might actually overcouple whatever the SEC might be going on with, which is kind of confusing. Who exactly do you trust? Who exactly should you watch for? Who exactly should you set your eyes towards? And what is the basis for crypto? It's really funny because then, regardless of what the SEC has done for the last couple of years, all the presidents they've set, all the cases they've done, in theory, the House could overrule it all and say, you know what, that's all not valid. We think of some new rules, so just skip kind of every law you've ever set in place. That would be kind of funny, actually, if you think about it. All right. Then this is the connection, I guess, we have with Bybit for today. Red Bull signs the largest crypto deal in sports. So I was just checking my Twitter and I saw Bybit is going rampant, guys. If you do not have an account over on Bybit just quite yet, again, guys, the link is going to be down below. It's the exchange I use all the time for my leverage trading, absolutely all the time. And to kind of put my money where my mouth is for a little second, here's what Bybit looks like. So this is my YouTube account, which again is the reason I call it that way, is because I only trade on here when I'm doing it live or when I'm just basically making a video about it. We have 2 trades open right now, an XRP and a Bitcoin trade. Our XRP trade, again, $330 worth. We're in $800 worth of profit, or about 230%. Our Bitcoin trade is in $776 worth of trade, $1,100 worth of profit, aka 140%. And again, we traded this with 10 times leverage over on Bybit. Check it out. A link is down below. And this is the XP chart that we have open because we're basically trying to quantify the most important levels here or put into perspective, and then hopefully make a couple of nice little swings from that. But apparently, again, Bybit has signed a deal with Red Bull. Apparently, it's over $300 million worth or something. Let me see. Unveiled software giant Oracle as their title. Oh, never mind. I thought the Bybit deal with Red Bull was $300 million, but the Oracle deal might be $300 million. Not exactly sure how much money is going on right here, nor do I really care. We just know it's a huge partnership to be on the Red Bull team like that. And I think it's also a very juicy spot to have on the card. So I'm pretty excited for that. Can I say that it's the best thing in the world? Obviously, no, because it's, again, a sports type of deal. It's very intensive sport, by the way, F1 racing. Not that I could know because I'm not an F1 driver, but you guys get the picture. You know, a lot of people, I think, underestimate how heavy it is to sit in that car going so ridiculously fast. You know, your entire head is going to cramp up, or your neck, I should say. It's pretty... We went karting with a lot of the crypto boys who are over in Dubai, and some of those guys are actually really good. I think it's because they have, you know, a lot of free time, maybe. But you can also feel with the karting already, if you go a couple of rounds after each other, that you're, like, stiffening up, and my legs were like... I was a little baby, you know? All right, but to not kind of dig myself in too deep of a grave of calling myself weak, JPMorgan apparently opened up Onyx launch over in Decentraland. Guys, I'm actually thinking of something else. A lot of you guys said that you have questions or so. Regardless of what you said, I'm going to try and reply to way more comments in the comment section. I'm actually going to try to reply to every single comment out there, but I'm just sure it's not going to work. So I'm trying to say I'm going to try to reply to as many comments out there as possible. I'm just going to put a lot more effort into that, you know, to kind of create a more bond with you guys, because I see all the comments. I see every single one of them. I like a lot of them with the heart icon. But you most likely don't understand how much time it would take to reply to every single thing. But I think it might be worth it. Purely so I can actually speak to more of you guys that are watching, because whenever I see y'all in real life, I enjoy it. You know, ever since I showed my face now, I'm thinking as well, why am I wasting this opportunity to talk with so many people that I have the chance to by just ignoring whenever they have a question or so. So please, guys, don't write the craziest long story in there so I have to spend hours and hours and hours. But if you have a small little question or small little thing you want to say, I read every single thing, and I'm going to try to reply to as many things as humanly possible and spend a couple of hours a day to do that. So make sure you press the like button and just comment something down below for trial. So JPMorgan opens Onyx launch in Decentraland. Yeah, Decentraland apparently pumped 10% because of this new announcement. JPMorgan is basically, Onyx, I believe, is their new VC fund or capital fund, and they've opened a lounge for that in the Decentraland realm. Very interesting, very strange, because a lot of other cryptos are trying to kind of get into this launch game on its own. I should say realm. But it's peculiar to see, you know, it kind of gets me excited from some perspective. The fact that they're getting into it, they're doing something along those lines. It shows a lot of legitimacy in this metaverse realm, in the crypto metaverse realm, I should say. Very big difference between metaverse on its own, because a game like Minecraft Roblox is literally metaverse, I would say. But the crypto metaverse, you know, built on, for example, Web3 or built on a chain like that, yeah, it shows a lot of faith in that. JPMorgan, we talked earlier about the, oh, no, actually, I didn't release the video just quite yet, I think. I'm going to release the video after this one, I think. Later on, we're going to talk about Warren Buffett and why he might actually move over into crypto, but a lot of it comes down to the connections between the banks and the fact that those banks are getting more into metaverse crypto type of stuff as well. It's a very interesting space right now, guys. It's a very interesting space. We're investing like crazy. I have 99% of my liquid assets into crypto. You guys know it by now, and I'm definitely going to continue on with that little stroll. Why not? Crypto is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to keep fueling the addiction of of crypto, I guess. Crippling debt with my normal money. All life is in crypto, All the bills on the floor in front of the house because I don't pay anything. I'm like, oh, I only got crypto. I don't have any real money. That's what I type back, or I guess right back. Just a little joke. All right, that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. What am I going to title this one? I have absolutely no idea. But again, make sure you press the like button if you did enjoy the video.